Hi you, and welcome back to Pond House Garden. We are just getting home after a very long weekend of visiting and eating and laughing with all of our family. This weekend was part one of 2 Christmases that we're going to have. This weekend was all about Dan's family, and next weekend we're able to get my entire family together. So we will be celebrating with both families over this 2-week period. And then we run into Christmas time, and it's just going to be Dan, Ozzy, and I, which is kind of crazy. So it'll be a very relaxing pajama morning, I would think, on Christmas Day. The trees in the front yard when we arrived home were spectacular. For those of you who watched the making of the first 2 rebar trees, you'll notice we now have 3 trees in the yard because Dan actually made 1 more over this last week. He also went and drilled holes or punched holes into each star, and that way he could thread through some mini lights so that the star is really defined now on the top of each of the rebar trees. So it looks fantastic. Of course, oh, there goes a bug. I'm out on the front porch. It is pitch black behind me except for the 3 beautiful trees. I can see way over in the neighbor's yard. He has the white reindeer and white lights all strung through his apple tree. It looks just so beautiful. So this weekend started off with a much deserved trip to go and get a whole bunch of delicious yumminess. And driving by Pamela Anderson's house at 7:30 in the morning is always a delight. She's put so many beautiful white lights up around her house, her fence, her gate, and on her tree. Some of you may have watched Pamela's Garden of Eden that has now aired on TV. And then I traveled up the hill from Pamela's house to the little town of Ladysmith on 1st Street. And that is where the bakery is located. It's also a place where many movies are shot each year, including recently Sonic the Hedgehog. We have an annual Christmas light up in Ladysmith, and so all the streets are full of beautiful Christmas lights. And if you look down in each direction or each way, you'll see all kinds of lights, although the photos unfortunately don't really do it justice. You have to be standing there at 7:30 in the morning or when it's dark at night to really understand how beautiful all the colorful lights are. Now, the Old Town Bakery is celebrating its 20th year in business, which is phenomenal. And it is an amazing bakery, so delicious. And in fact, it's so sought after, or the baking's so sought after, that you have to get there on a Saturday morning at around 7:45 to get into the lineup for when it opens at 8 o'clock, or else you'll be waiting for quite some time. So I like to grab a coffee on the way, get into the lineup, and at Christmas time, they make an annual gingerbread house. And this year is no disappointment. In fact, the house this year is based on the building that the bakery is located in. So upstairs has all the little apartments that people live in, and you can see all the little families and the Christmas trees. And then downstairs, if you look down, that represents the bakery itself and the decorated bakery with all the customers. There's the bakery front door, and then there is the bakery itself right beside. And they even have done a replica in miniature of the gingerbread house in the bakery window. How cute is that? And this is it. If I pull out a little bit, it gives you the size. It's enormous because the bakery kitchen is right behind this thing. So you can understand. Yeah, there's a person over there working in the bakery right now, but man, it is monstrous, and it typically is each year. There it is, celebrating 20 years with a little snowman. The other thing I like about the bakery at Christmas time is they put up a whole bunch of beautiful Christmas ornaments that hang in the window. In the bakery side, or the kitchen side of the bakery, I should say, they hang Christmas ornaments. Whereas on the other side, where we go in to buy all of the baked goods, they have a whole bunch of tools hanging in the window, which is a lot of fun. And here's just an overview of the many delicious things that you can buy in the bakery, including what they are known for. I believe they've won many awards for their cinnamon buns. And so this is one reason why there's so many people lined up on the weekends, is because when they sell out of cinnamon buns, they sell out of cinnamon buns. There are no longer any left for the day. So you want to get there nice and early when they are fresh. And at Christmas time, you can also buy from them a whole bunch of pre-made sweets and treats. So there's mincemeat tarts and butter pecan tarts. There's Christmas loaf and trays full of cookies that are all decorated, pies that are made, and then in the where we line up, there's a whole bunch of gingerbread men hanging from the ceiling and twirling around in the air conditioning and the heat. I managed to pick up a few goodies to give away as Christmas gifts over the weekend. So here it is. A few things that I brought home, because there is nothing better than giving food as a gift to say thank you or Merry Christmas. Down here, I picked up a little gingerbread man for my grandson. And Dan really wanted to try this lemon scone, lemon Danish. And so I picked that up for him. He's very excited. This is a chocolate croissant over there with the powdered sugar on it. I got an assortment of scones. So this is a chorizo pepper, blueberry white chocolate, and cranberry ginger. Some raisin bread for Mom and Dad to say thank you for looking after Ozzy. And this is 8 grain bread, and we're gonna keep one for our house and give one to my stepdaughter for Christmas. These are delicious. These are raspberry cream cheese muffins, and that's for today's visit with my stepdaughter. And for the grandkids, of course, I had to pick up some more little mini gingerbread men and various shapes to say thank you for looking after Oz. Mom and Dad are going to get some pistachio shortbread cookies. And I also ended up picking up some gingerbread and cream cheese cupcakes. And why did I get those? Oh yeah, I'm gonna give 2 of those to Mom and Dad, and I just bought one for me. Because when you're standing in line deciding what you wanna buy, you just wanna try it all. And I had to make a special little box just for my grandson with a gingerbread man cookie and a gingerbread white cupcake. And I put it into a little ugly sweater box just to make it more fun. From there, we moved on to Dan's sister's house for dinner. The table was donned with nutcrackers and candles, chocolates and pine cones, fir boughs, and red roses. Of course, I was running around like crazy visiting with everyone, so I didn't get half the photos that I intended to get. And dinner, was amazing. One of the sisters ended up making a blackberry gin pre-dinner drink. The recipe can be found on Jamie Oliver's website. And also we had aged steaks and olive marinated chicken for dinner. Oh, it was so good, so good. Dan wore a festive hat that he made himself. It was covered in Christmas lights and wrapping paper. And he also made 2 delicious pumpkin pies that he shared for dessert. On the next day, we woke up and we all traveled down to a place called Whitty's Lagoon. Dan and I both grew up in this area, and whenever we're down visiting the grandsons, we always end up coming and sticking our toes in the sand and listening to the beautiful ocean waves come in on the shoreline. We also take time to remember all those childhood moments and the stories about growing up and the adventures that we had down on the beach. This year we made sure to go with all the sisters since everybody could get together, and we reminisced about stories about them growing up together in the area, and there was a lot of laughs on the entire walk. There was a massive group of Canadian geese that were on this lawn eating away, which also made the walk very interesting because there was a lot of poop on the streets that we were walking on, but it was neat to see all of these Canadian geese just hanging out in one spot. There was a beautiful orchard and field that existed beside them. Unfortunately, it isn't doing as well as what it used to. However, we have been told that you can still get apples off these apple trees. So we'll have to come back in the summertime and take a closer look at that and see if that's true. They kind of look like they're not in the best condition. If you ever do get to the Colwood area when you're visiting on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, you must take in Woody's Lagoon. It is really beautiful. It gives you usually a beautiful view of the mountains and the snow. There's a whole bunch of artisans now that do driftwood artwork that's on display permanently along the beach. And there's also, which was very cool, an annual, this is the 4th year that this Christmas tree has gone up on the beach, and you can come and you can hang up a Christmas tree ornament to remember someone that has passed away this year or to be thankful for certain things. And so we got there just in time to see them putting up the star at the top of the tree. I took a few photos of the various ornaments that are hanging up. And in particular, this really spoke to me, and I'm going to really make sure that I give my mom an extra hug. It says, "For my mama, I should have hugged you tighter and longer the last time I saw you. I miss you." From there, we took a different way home because we wanted to see again if there had been a lot of changes to our childhood area. There were birds everywhere on one side of the lagoon. Of course, many people feeding them, which is probably a no-no. And the little bridge to get to Woody's Lagoon still stands, and so we always love driving over this little wooden bridge as well. Going up the hill, there's a whole bunch of trees that still exist that were there far before we were kids. And if you look down and close, you can see Fort Rod Hill, another great place to go and visit if you come to Colwood on Vancouver Island. I just want to say a big thank you. I really appreciate how much effort and time goes into hosting these kind of Christmas events, and to pull it off and for it to be as relaxed and casual and fun as what it was is a real feat. There was no drama, there was no stress. Maybe that happened behind the scenes, but while all of us were there, it was just nothing but joyful. Now, if you liked what you saw today, be sure to give me a big thumbs up. And if you want more about Fort Rod Hill or Woody's Lagoon or various places that are in the Colwood area on Vancouver Island, please let me know in the comment section below, because I'd be more than happy to go and tour you around these different places. Remember, your dreams can become a reality just like mine have. All you have to do is take that very first step. And you know, this year, it might be the perfect time to do a drive into your old neighborhood where you grew up, to see your old house and to remember those old memories and to draw in some of those positive moments that are actually still with you all these years later. I'm actually really looking forward to doing a drive around Oak Bay with my dad, because I want to hear about all the stories and all the houses that him and Granddad built as well together. So that is on my to-do list for 2023. Are you in, Dad? Stay warm and have a great day.